I'm with David Gates, the Global Category Director for whiskies, Scotch whiskies in fact, at Diageo, and we're at the new Rosal Distillery up in Speyside. David, you've had a good day looking around the distillery, and you've been giving some interesting talks to us all about the state of the industry at the moment. What do you think is the key markets right now for growth for Scotch whisky?
I think the markets where we're most excited about in terms of growth are the emerging markets, so Asia Pacific, China, India, Vietnam, Thailand would be ones I'd kind of call out there. Latin America really, really exciting. Brazil, Venezuela, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico in particular would be the ones I'd call out there.
And what brands are showing particular growth out there?
Johnny Walker is doing really, really well. We've seen some great growth behind Buchanan's and Old Parr in Latin America. And in Asia Pac, actually, you've got Windsor. Windsor is a really strong brand in Korea, and we're seeing some good growth there as well.
Cool. Now, why do you think these consumers are suddenly switching on to Scotch?
Good question. What we're seeing is a lot of the emerging middle classes in these markets. They're getting disposable income, and they're getting more money that they can use on things to kind of help demonstrate how they're progressing in life and how they're kind of moving up the ladder, and they've got just a bit more money. And what they're doing is they're trading out of maybe domestic spirits, and they're moving into Scotch, and they're using that partly to kind of show to their friends and their family how well they're doing, and partly just because they like the taste.
That's very true. We all like the taste. Can't blame them for that, can we? Now, what's this new facility here?
Yeah.
We're not going to see whiskey produced from here for a while. I understand it's all going to go towards important ingredients for your blended portfolio. What is the kind of is it more difficult to push the merits of blended Scotch than it is the single malt Scotch to consumers who are perhaps knowledgeable slightly of the category? They know the difference between a single malt and a blended malt, but they've got this natural assumption that a single malt is of a higher quality.
Not really. I mean, there are some countries where malts are more popular in that regard. So maybe GB or France might be an example where malts are well understood. But generally speaking, people really do understand the kind of quality dimension that comes with a blended whisky. And then people in more kind of discerning moments or discerning occasions, and they want to kind of go day tripping into malts. We have a big wide range of malts to allow them to do that.
And how important is the rising cocktail culture? The use of whiskey in cocktails going to be to recover, slightly stuttering performances in key markets like Western Europe, UK.
The truth is, I'm not sure. So there are some evidence that kind of whiskey as used in cocktails can help, but I think really the heartland for whiskey is going to be kind of long consumption, so whiskey and soda, whiskey and ginger, whiskey and cola, as well as obviously it's kind of the more traditional whiskey on the rocks or possibly neat. My personal preference, having lived in Brazil for 5 years, lovely slug of Johnny Walker Black, handful of ice, big long soda, perfect.
Excellent stuff. I'll try it out myself when I get home. David, thank you very much.
My pleasure.